Alright guys, well, it's finally time. We're going to do the video on the BMW. It's going to be the start of the turbo kit. This will be pretty basic. You'll probably see me clean the inside of the car a little bit because there's some garbage. But other than that, it's really going to be diving into just stripping the car down. There's a lot of stuff I want to get on the way just to make this turbo kit as easy as we can make it. Mostly because we've never done anything like this before. So I just want to make it as easy as possible for us. One thing I know, making headers is not fun, and I'm gonna make my own because I don't want to pay $2 grand for a cheap set, and I definitely don't want to pay like $8 grand for a really nice turbo kit. So it's easy for us. Make the whole front end off, which will allow me to see the side of the block and kind of wear everything I want. I'm gonna work on relocating the reservoir over here, which it looks like it's pretty easy because you got a couple brackets here and some bracketry. I'm hoping that I can put that here and kind of twist this and move it, or I'll get an aftermarket one. I know Chase Bay makes a really nice slim one, and then I'll work on like how this is gonna go. I do want to figure out where these lines go to, because it looks like shit. I'll probably get new fittings for that and reroute it to make it nice, but they strapped it to the side of the bumper, so I'll have to look at remounting that or something, but don't know until we get the whole front end off. So I'm gonna work on picking this away, and I'll kind of bring in you guys in once in a while on it and kind of show you what I'm doing. I'm gonna show you if that actually works out or not, and I'm gonna delete those guys and basically move as much as I can there, because I do want to do just one big single, and I wanted to sit right here. So this all has to go. That'll probably move somewhere else or get rid of it. I don't know. It's gonna be a track car, so I don't really care. That guy's gonna go because I'm gonna get an aftermarket intake possibly, or the older style BMW intake. I do want to do the newer one only because with doing the big turbo, and I do want to add more fuel to it, probably run E85. I do have the port injection as well as direct injected, so if I do a new intake, it will have that, so that will probably be coming on that. And yeah, so let's get diving into it and start ripping this bad boy apart. Hey Jesse, what are we doing? You know what? I'll tell you what we're doing. We use this bar here to loosen these lines, and this is for our buddy Brandon right here. You see this?
Oh, wait.
Shit, I don't know if I can get it off.
Dead, so I'll use the phone.
This is for our buddy Brand. Hold on, let me just... I gotta find a bar here to get this. Here we go. Just fucking... What a little bitch. Sorry. This is... I'm trying to pop these lines off, but they're just not being nice right now. And I think it's probably because they're not actually loose.
There's still one on the bottom. Did you get that?
Yeah. Listen, I know what I'm doing, okay? I'm a licensed YouTube mechanic.
YouTube certified.
YouTube certified. That's what we all are. I watched Chris fix it once in my life, and now I'm certified.
Hey guys.
Here we go. I'm just trying to get this one. Oh no, this one's in my way to get this out. Uh-oh. Environmental issues.
As long as I don't breathe, I'm fine.
Mint. That goes with the coolant on the floor too.
Our makeshift kitty litter.
Yeah. Well, I think I got everything in, guys. I got the AC lines. Let's go for the headlights on this side, that side. I also took this trunk pin off, which is really quick to do. Just pop that open, pop it out. I think that's everything. I'm gonna lift it up, do a couple checks on the bottom, right?
I don't remember what was underneath.
No, there's a couple wires. There's fog lights, some other stuff. Charge pipe's already out.
Did you want to take the whole front clip off?
Coolant's off. I gotta do the lower line, which I believe is on that side, which I gotta do that right now. And then I'm gonna loosen the bottom and loosen the top and take it off.
Sounds like a plan.
That's what we're doing. Let's dump the coolant. We already dumped this much coolant.
Yeah,
take this line off.
First little bit,
take that line off there, and then we're good. Make more of a mess. This line is messed up.
No, don't look at it.
Look at it. That's crusty.
That's called engineering right there.
It won't even focus on it because I'm on cinematic. There it is. It's crusty. It happens when you leave some girl alone for too long and don't appreciate her. She gets a little crusty.
I mean,
not wrong.
Not wrong.
Alright, so I don't know if this is super or not, but everything I can see electrically wise up here is all disconnected. Rad hose is disconnected. Both sides. Electrical on that side. I took the top two bolts out, both those spots. And then I'm going to lift the car up. Obviously, AC lines are out. I'm not sure. I've never really pulled the front end on one of these before. So I don't know fully what I got to do. But I'm going to lift it up, disconnect the fog lights and whatever else I have to do underneath, and just kind of pull it, see if I can get it off. I'm assuming there's going to be some bolts here I got to get to. So I'll pull the wheels off and do those. And I think that really should be the gist of it. But no way to tell until you start pulling on it. So let's get the sides done, lift the car up the rest of the way, and get all underneath, and then we should be good. I mean, I do respect the fact that he did this. Like, he has tire wraps and everything, but like, you should have cut the lines down more, because like, you don't need all that slack. B, like, why did you put these here? Like, I'm sorry, but you mounted to a plastic bumper. Like, sure, it works, but come on. I know it was a beater car, probably young kid, didn't give a shit, but like, oh, it looks like trash, guys. It looks like trash. But I might just leave it, because it looks better than the freaking holes that are in it. But whatever. But anyway, that's nice, because I can take this off, free this guy up. I've already taken apart the bumper from the top fender, so should be good. I don't think I'll have to disconnect that, but I'll see when I look underneath. But I can get the fog light from here, get this guy released, hopefully leave it, and then that whole front should just come right off. This wheel liner came out pretty easy. It was just a bunch of screws all the way up and around and underneath, but that popped out no problem. But I'm gonna get this done and then hop the other side, and then hopefully this guy just comes right off. One thing I hate is there's your wheel fenders, there's your front bumper cover, and here's your actual bumper and everything else. So one thing I hate, knowing this is gonna be a track car, knowing I'm gonna be blowing this motor out once I turbo it and try to beat the shit out of it, is I'd really like to make it so once I undo the screws and everything and bolts, I can pull the whole front end off. HGK, I know, makes a kit where it goes to the end of this and you basically pull safety pins and you can pull the whole front end off. I'll probably do that only because I'm lazy, and then I'll move a lot of the stuff like the horn stuff in more, so I don't have to unplug every time I gotta do it, because I really want to make it so if I gotta pull the engine quick or do anything like that on a weekend and I know I'm gonna blow it up, love to make it as few bolts as possible to pull this thing as quick as I can, because I don't want to spend nights and nights up here trying to pull the motor to redo it. I know it sounds stupid, but being able to pull the front end off with a couple bolts is a very large time saver. I've already been up here for probably about 45 minutes. Probably actually, you know what, probably 2 hours I've been up here now trying to get this apart. Now I know it's my first time. I don't know how to do this really, but I do want to save time. And that's one big thing I think I can have save. If I do a little front end kit tube work or something and just make a couple pins to pull the whole front end off. So that's definitely going to come in the future, because this is a pain in the butt just to be able to do this. So, but we're almost there. Like I said, that's all off. This is almost apart. I just got to take the bolts off and everything else should come. So let me do those couple little bolts here and see if this bad boy comes right off. This is an even better example now I got it apart. So bumpers, well, first you gotta take those two off. Then you gotta take the cover off. Then you take this guy off with the 4 bolts that are there, or the nuts. And then this is completely separate. So ideally I make it so this whole front part is just one quick disconnect, and then I have access to the front of the motor and do whatever I need to do. Now I know this would be a lot easier if I take the rad and go whoop right in the back, especially for drifting, but budget, gonna leave the rad here because it's already set up for it, and I don't have to redo all the coolant lines and everything else, so it's gonna stay like this. Just want to make it so it's attached to that stuff, or make it easy to attach the whole front end. So we'll see what I got to do, but that's kind of my hopes and plans. But I'm gonna get this guy out, and then I expose the whole front of the motor, so we'll see if I do more in this video or not. But basically my whole plan is to get this all exposed so I can start working on moving this stuff over, but then I can actually see, I can build a little bracket so I can put my turbo flange where I want it, to hold the turbo where I want it, and then I can basically tack weld the flange to that part, pull it out of the car, weld the whole exhaust, and then try to put the manifold in it. But either way, let's get this out and I can maybe show you guys a little more what I mean by that.
If I can make an outgoing call, I should be able to at least
I think this is the most he does in the shop. Well, we did some work, guys. We got the power steering lines, which were a bitch for me, and all of a sudden Riley comes and he's the guy that shows up and does it in 2 fucking minutes, but that's okay. So the next big thing, like I said, is removing all this stuff, relocating that reservoir over there. I don't know if that fits or not. If not, figure that one out. That's kind of important too. But like all this piping is going to come out, charge pipes and gold side, all that's got to come out. So it's a good job for us right now. Maybe rip it all out and see what it looks like. Well, it's the next day. You guys don't know this, but it is. So everything got removed last night. So now we got the little bit of stuff we got to do. I got to basically free up all this stuff, the charge pipes, get the turbo and headers out that are in there now, free up as much space as I can. Once the turbo comes in, I'm going to make a whole video on this and how my thought process is making the headers and doing everything else. Just remember, this is a budget build. I'm not trying to spend a whole shitload of money. For this side, I'm going to take all the airbox and stuff off and all the pipes because I do want to simplify this as well. Like I said, I want to make this as clean as I can because I want to work on it. Make it easy to work on it. So let's get this guy out. Some of these pipes for now. Some of them might go back in, but probably not. So I'm going to get them all out. Take this coolant line off. Put it with my reuse pile. All the other stuff can go up on the shelf up there. But let's work at this and that side, and then I'll check back in with you guys. This is Riley in his natural habitat. Just working on baby turbos.
These are tiny, dude.
They are fucking small.
Well, you're doing some good maintenance here by getting rid of everything that's leaking oil. So
Yeah, about everything that's leaking oil is coming off this car. We do have to do a valve cover gasket, which I know is notorious. I've done one on my E46 when I had it way back in the day. But that's coming. Amazon special. But for now, let's get these bad boys out, and then we'll see them on the bench. And then once new turbo comes in, we'll do a little size comparison for them.
fucking locked it out, you know. Use a little extension. Oh shit, you were. I was wide open throttle on the
Yeah,
ratchet there.
I don't know. So if you guys look, this pipe here, we're gonna get it out because I actually gotta cut that, and I might do a whole video on this. But basically, I'm too cheap to buy the kit that has it all, so I gotta cut that and then basically 90 this pipe right across the block in order to make room for the header to bring it all up here and have the turbo sit right here. Which we're gonna do a whole thing on making the manifold, which maybe I'll do that pipe in within that because it's all kind of the same thing. So, but one turbo's out, one more to go. And this guy is small. But post these bad boys up for sale and hopefully make my money back off the car. A whole like 20 bucks. But a couple more things to remove. Alright guys, so I was told I had to show you because Riley is so amazed by his little trick
Not
here.
amazed.
What'd you do?
I just said it's a good little trick.
I mean, you're like, oh, you gotta show them. You gotta get this on video because it's so amazing.
No.
What'd you do?
So we didn't have the right tool because we needed something super low pro. So you take your 1/4-inch drive hex bit or whatever you want to drive it with, and you put it on a little 1/4-inch wrench, and you put a little paper towel in. It doesn't fall out. And then you got yourself a nice low pro oil drain tube Torx bit for your BMW. Don't mind the handshake. But it's working very slowly. We don't even know if this will work either. This drain tube might not even have enough space to clear the motor mount, but
It's worth a shot.
We might as well find out the hard way.
Just gonna get that little guy out there. Well, that's the end of this video. I know a little bit of it was all over the place. There was a lot of, we did some work on the car and then kind of skipped ahead. So we're getting better, but the problem is there's only so many of us, and it is really hard, to be honest, to remember to pull the camera out to record some stuff. But that's gonna be the end of this one. We are working on the car. I am doing a valve cover gasket. I'm not making a video on this. I'm just doing this. I have ordered the turbo parts, so they are coming in. So once they're in, you'll see a video on us actually placing the turbo and then kind of making a bracket and a jig to almost know from where it hits the engine to the turbo where we got to be, and then I can do all the piping after that, tack it all up and then put it in. But we're going to do a whole video on that. It's our first time, so it's going to be a really interesting process. But just like and subscribe and stay tuned because that's coming soon.